Hello guys, this is Neil Thompson from the Delegate Wranglers, back for a quick catch up with another special guest. This time it is Hugh Edwards, CEO of Reattendance. We're going to have a quick 10-minute chat with him. Hello Hugh, how are you?
I'm doing well, mate. Nice to see you all. How are you doing?
Yes, great to have you on the show again. I wonder, Hugh, obviously Reattendance, I know you've been going for a couple of years now. Do you want to tell us when you launched? And and now we know we're about to launch version 4. Just tell me how that journey's progressed and how you've got to where you are now.
Yeah, well, Reattendance actually started in 2016, believe it or not. This is way in advance of pandemics or, the boom of virtual events and online events. And we actually designed it for us. We run our own events in a sister company we have called Gravy for the Brain. And we built it initially as like an iPlayer, a replay model for our own events. And that progressed and grew, and other people, that we showed wanted to use it. And then in 2018, we kind of went serious about it and started putting streaming and all the normal sorts of things that we take for granted today. But that's kind of how it evolved. And then we decided, really, it was a very difficult call to make, but we were halfway through the year of 2020 when we were mid-pandemic. And I mean, we were overwhelmed by the sheer scale of the number of companies who wanted to come and run events, which was brilliant, and we're so grateful that we could help facilitate that for the events industry, who, let's be honest, were in serious trouble, So it was a great time, but coming through towards the end of that year, towards sort of September or something like that, we were really thinking, well, what's going to happen at the end? Because no one thought that the pandemic would be going on for another year and a half or however long it carries on in the future. So we thought to ourselves, well, what's actually going to happen at the end of this? And, we run our own events and we want to get back to in-person events. We did it last year as well. And so we thought, okay, well, our platform really is only online based. And so we need to think properly and in depth about what's going to happen at the end of this online boom. And the truth is that we need to get back to an online platform and online and an in-person platform and in-person events, because we wanted to get back there. So we made a really difficult decision, which was to just start again entirely with the platform, because we didn't want to have it be one of those Frankenstein monsters where you're just gluing bits onto it, which I think is what our competitors have done, really. So we started again from the ground up, and we designed Reattendance, which is version 4. I mean, I can see the look on your face there. As a business owner, the pain.
I'm thinking, Hugh, that is a big decision, big call to make. I mean, it's, I'm sure a lot of people probably get halfway through that redesign of something and think, I should have just started this from the beginning. So it's quite a brave thing to do, quite a brave thing to undertake. And, I really admire you for it. The thing is, you've got that added data of, knowing now what you wish you'd known back then, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah,
exactly.
A big decision. Yeah,
it was. And because we wanted to use the platform ourselves for our own in-person events and hybrid events, we really took a long time to design it properly, the way that we wanted to design it, with that hindsight in mind, but for in person as well. So we've done tons of work. It's been the most massive project you can possibly imagine, where we've just had so many coders on in 4 or 5 different countries, all working together on this one thing. And it went into public beta about May, June last year, and we ran it public beta for 8 months, and then it was officially, sort of unofficially launched, which is the platform we have today. And then we've decided to do an official launch for it, really to show people what it is and how it can benefit them.
So my question to you is, obviously I come from an event background, and obviously I've had to adapt with doing online events and things, interviews and you name it. They're quite different things, aren't they? An in-person event is one thing, a hybrid event is one thing, and then pure online is another. How does your platform kind of broach that subject? Because it's quite tricky to be able to do all three things, really.
Yeah, funnily enough, the way we've designed it is that you get to cherry pick which bits you want from either. So you can run a completely online event, and that's fine. or you can run a completely in-person event, and that's also fine, or you can mix the two and have a hybrid event. So they are not separated things. They're just events wherever you hold them. So if we're just concentrating on in-person, because I think, I mean, everyone knows what most capabilities are for online events, virtual events, and most people are kind of getting their head around hybrid now as well. And the core part of that, I suppose, is streaming in and out of the venue is the main thing. But what we wanted to do was we wanted to make the in-person management part of the platform as useful as the hybrid or the online. So you can sell free tickets, and we've basically spent a lot of time doing registration and ticketing. And so that's a main thing. So you can sell tickets, you can have free tickets, and that's something you're going to need to do for in-person events. We have an emailing system that will auto respond based on the sale of those tickets, but you can also create bespoke tickets. So remember, this is just for in-person. So people are going to leave your venue after day one, and they then have an email come to them that you've scheduled in at 8 p.m. saying, thanks for a great day. Really hope you enjoyed it. Tomorrow we're doing this, that, and the other, or whatever it is you want to say. We've built in a completely live schedule. So you get to define your schedule within the application itself, and you can use that, and it's mobile first design. So you can use that for everybody on the day to see what's happening. It adapts as the live event goes on, so things drop off when they're finished and so on. And more than that, if you remember before the pandemic, people were using event apps to do that kind of thing. Those actual apps. So we've capitalized on that. So you can take the schedule and you can create a bespoke schedule for yourself as an individual attendee for the things that you want to go and see, and create your own journey. Alongside that, you can pin events. So you as the event owner can pin things, I mean, whatever you want to pin, really, something that's really important to you, or a show guide or a floor plan or whatever it is, so that you've got that for your attendees in the room. And then we have the QR scanner. So this is a scanner that we've designed from scratch, where you can use it for multiple things. So because of the way you set your tickets in the hierarchy, you can scan people's tickets either on their phones, or they can download badges from our application, and it knows which tickets are which. So you tell it which on the app which room you're in, and then the people come up to the door, it scans them, it gives you a picture of them, so you can make sure that they haven't swapped a phone with someone, and it says whether they've got access. You say yes, you check them in, and in they go, and it's very, very quick. So you can use that. That's the in-person part. Attendees can also use that just to swap business cards with each other. So they can do it anywhere they go, and you can download your business cards at the end of it. We have announcements you can send out to anybody in your entire cohort, or anybody who's just in one room or one session or whatever it may be. And then the normal things like polls, surveys, they're all available in the room. So we have a lot of our event owners use us in the room, where people have their apps on them, and the person from the stage says, okay, just open your apps and I'm going to send you out a poll right now.
Brilliant. How
many of you in the audience think this, that, and the other? And you send out the poll, and they're using it live. Then something that for me has been a real bugbear over the in-person events I've run for the last decade is feedback. And trying to get people to do feedback forms live is such a pain. It's
forevermore. Yes, absolutely.
It's so difficult, right?
Yeah.
So we fixed that. So you can now launch feedback to everybody, to your entire cohort, as they're going out, and they can do it then, or they can do it later, and put in a 5-star review. And if they want to, they can give you feedback as well. And the great thing about all that is that you then get real-time analytics from whatever you're doing. So even though you're only in person and there's no hybrid component, there's no online component, you get to see what people are voting in terms of feedback, how they're using polls, how many people are actually going into each individual sessions, and so on, in the actual room itself. And then the last point is, although we're not using a hybrid component to anywhere else, we can still utilize the video calling aspect. And one of the things that we found that we didn't even anticipate it, but people are using, is the event help, where it doesn't matter where you are in the building, in the hotel, or whatever it is, you can still dial up event help, and the person on registration just picks up the phone and is immediately talking to them and says, oh yeah, you need to be in room 3 or whatever it is. So that as a package is everything that you can do online and hybrid, but it's been designed for in-person as well. And then the final piece of the jigsaw, of course, is that most people want to record their sessions. So even if you don't have an online audience, you can still stream it back to the platform using whatever you want to do, and you get the immediate recordings of everything that you've done. So it is designed really for in-person and online. And as you can see, you then mix and match those to get as a hybrid event as to, however
what
you
it sounds
see it.
to what it sounds to me, Hugh, is that there's a lot of different kind of apps from other people that have kind of all rolled into one there in one nifty usable place with some like really cool functionality. I'm also thinking that the QR code could be great for exhibitions as well.
Absolutely.
An exhibitor could have that on the stand, and then people could scan that and it's into their app, and there's so many different ways. Are these the kind of that all in one aspect? Is that the kind of main difference that you've got over your kind of competitors, even though I suppose it's quite specific, isn't it, that not one competitor is going to have all those features rolled into one?
Yeah, I suppose, that's the truth of it. The main difference between us and our competitors is that we had the luxury, even though it was painful, of starting from the beginning and thinking, okay, well, if we're going to start from a blank piece of paper, what do we really want? And so we designed pretty much everything into it. There are some other things, though, that differentiate us. At the pricing structure, we've tried to make this as universally affordable to everybody. So we have plans that start from just £39 a month. And if you compare that to some of our competitors, which only start in the thousands, and you're getting the majority of our features for that as well. The other thing is that we are the most competitive in terms of commission and facilitation fees on the market. So we only charge 3% for ticket sales that are paid, and free tickets that you sell are free. The nearest to us is the bottom tier of Eventbrite, and they're 3.5%. They go up to 6%. So and we haven't found any of our competitors that are as competitive as us for ticketing and registration yet. What else? I suppose we have the event builder. This is a brand new thing, which it's a hierarchical based thing. And when you see it, it just makes so much sense to how you actually build events, because it's designed how you want to see it. And it's just a very, very quick point and click, and you can create events in 30 seconds. It's really, really simple. Then we have, of course, the pièce de résistance, which is our own reattendance streaming technology. So the majority of platforms out there that we compete with either force you to use YouTube or Vimeo or any other third party to be able to get the streams into their system. So we do offer that. You can ingest anything you want, but we have our own streaming platform with its own vision mixing capabilities inside it. So you can just go in, pay your 39 quid, and you can live stream to anyone just in the same way as you do with Zoom, but you get all the features and benefits of
something that's
bespoke
and being made for it. I mean, exactly. It sounds like really, really exciting. So my next question is this only aimed at kind of big, large, huge events, or could somebody also do this for a small meeting for like 10, 15 people?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, I suppose I've preempted that with the plan price. We have plans that go all the way up to the super big, for really large events, all done by event agencies, and they are the all singing, all dancing, every feature type of plans. But we also have plans for either hobbyists or people who are doing very small events or whatever it may be. And as I say, they start at £39 UK and all the rest of the prices that we have around the world in different currencies. Our ambition really is to get as many people using the platform as possible. And you can even do tickets and registration for free. So, I mean, apart from the commission, of course. So the idea is that it's just a scaled service. If you go to our pricing page, you get to see immediately. I mean, that's also one difference from us and our competitors, is that we actually tell you what the price is going to be without forcing you to go through a demo. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting things in there. And I mean, most of these ideas are aimed at trying to be everything for everybody. And usually when people do that, they become a jack of all trades, master of none. But hopefully, as you'll see on our version 4 launch, we've spent so much time and effort getting all this right that I'm really convinced that this is the platform for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds really exciting. I've got one last quick question just before we finish. What's the kind of learning curve like to actually use this? You know, and can people get support from you guys? Is it an easy thing to just jump in and do and get started quite quickly and, you know, intuitive? What's the kind of process?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Firstly, there is a completely free registration option, so you can just go and try it. You don't need to put in a credit card. You don't need anything. We've removed all the barriers. So just go to Reattendance and sign up, and it's totally free. The learning curve for really, really large events where you're doing lots of things, like you have poster events and expos and expo companies and whatever, it's slightly more in depth, but we still have tours that will take you around it. And of course, we've got the knowledge bases, and we are on the end of a phone. You can actually just ring us if you need to. We also have the little intercom style help, which goes directly through to our desks. And one of the things that we pride ourselves on is being able to speak to customers on a real-time basis. Yeah. So we do have plans that contract that in, but for the majority of people, you just ring us up and we'll help you out. But in general, it's really very simple. The event builder I mentioned, it's super obvious. You know, everything has a help on it. Yeah. There's a tour that guides you through it, and you almost can't go wrong with it, really. So it's only the really complex events, you know, but depends how complex you make it, doesn't it, as well? I understand. Well, that, yeah. I mean, someone said to me earlier on, by definition, a really complex event is a complex thing. So it's going to be slightly more complex to get in. But if you want to go and just sell tickets and not even use the platform for anything else, just use the tickets and registration, that's really simple. If you want to go and create a, you know, 1 or 2 meeting style event, that's really simple. In fact, coming back to your point earlier on, we do have quite a lot of corporates who just use this internally for their own meeting systems, because the analytics that it gives them and the cohorts that they put in is so simple to use. So it's like Zoom plus benefits, you know. Yeah, right. So to celebrate this, you've got your big launch event, which is on the 1st of Feb. Do you want to tell us a bit about it? You know, who you're looking forward to come and attend, you know, how long it's going to take, what it's going to entail? Yeah, it's just an hour. It is at 1 p.m. GMT on the February, so that's a week. Well, I shouldn't do that, should I? It's February the 1st anyway, 2022, in case you're watching this on playback. If you are watching this on playback, then just come to Reattendance and you'll be able to just register in. But we'd love to see as many people there. We're going to demo all the features. We're going to show you how in-person works. I mean, funnily enough, speaking to some of the event owners, there's almost a bit of a kind of backlash at the moment against online virtual only events, and people really want to get back to in-person. So we're going to start off with in-person events and how this platform works for you. Then we're going to do online, and then we're going to do hybrid, which shows the amalgamation of both. So it's an hour long, 1st of Feb, 1 p.m. GMT. Yeah, we'll put the link on the screen for that as well, and also in the information accompanying this video. Yeah, I agree with you there about online as well. We did a poll a few months ago that kind of backed that up as well, backed up that people thought the future was definitely hybrid and in person, you know, both less and very much less so, you know, just pure online events. So, and I think we're seeing that now. And I think as spring's coming and you know, things are being lifted, it seems to be that you know, the in-person event is on the rise again, thank God. And, you know, I really do admire what you're doing there, Hugh, you know, in terms of the way you've adapted to that and the way you've recognized that that's the way things are going, started from the ground up. I think it's going to be really exciting. I mean, I hope we can get as many Delegate Wranglers to come and watch this, because, you know, I think this is a really, really interesting thing that you're doing, you know, and really useful. You know, the way, and because we now know the background behind it, it's not just somebody who said, oh, I'll jump on the bandwagon. It's not that at all. You literally started as one thing, learned from it, said, let's scrap that and start again and make it even better. I mean, there's a lot to be admired for that. Thank you. Yeah. So guys, you can join the event by clicking on the link underneath. We'd love to see as many of you there as possible. And that nothing left to say apart from saying thank you very much to Hugh and the team at Reattendance. And cheers, Hugh. Have a good day. Thanks very much for your time. Appreciate it. And yeah, love to see you guys. See you on the launch event. Thank you.